Mijo. So what they're talking about, YouTube, is this cable that I've actually done a video on this before, but on TikTok, this cable that moves up and down the arm on my elbow. And this is the easiest arm for me to teach what I did to this specific arm. And again, still have a great relationship with the people that make this prosthetic. This is still the premier, most popular upper extremity prosthetic in the world currently for the majority of amputees. Hybrid means it's half bionic, half mechanical. Real important. And so for you would be looking to create this specific part. And I've actually taught this a couple of different times to people in person from, I believe one was from Egypt and one was from Latin America. This part is a proprietary cable that prosthetic people use. It's stainless steel. And on my other arm, I replaced what is called, this black material is called Dacron, right? I replaced that with just some like tactical belts, 550 cord and leather where I could. So as you can see, some of my screws are actually 550 cord. And on my other arm, I replaced this with just some webbing from like Amazon that a lot of people use for tactical gear because that was my experience, right? So I replaced that because with this you have to use stitching to anytime you want to adjust that cable. So on my other arm, I replaced that, and it's really hard to tell with this arm. That's why I don't want to use this specific arm. And this harness goes to the leg before. And if any amputees want me to make a video specifically about this harnessing setup, and I think that majority of them would know why I diverted that to the leg. A lot of the people in the Ukraine were curious about this system too. It's just to be able to stop it from cutting off the circulation on my left side, because I always have what looks like a pump, because the harness from this arm cuts off my circulation, and so it's very painful and it's taxing on my left side. So this harness goes to my leg, right? But as you can see here, I replaced it with some tactical webbing so I could use the buckles that came with it on, you can get them on Amazon, and I could adjust the elbow to be able to do things like boxing and weightlifting, or completely disconnect it to be able to do things like where I want the elbow disconnected completely, like doing things like mowing the lawn where you don't want your elbow to go up and down, you just want it to float freely. But the thing that we did to make this system last way longer, this arm I did climb, it did break, but the cable didn't break, Kilimanjaro with, was specifically creating this part. So like I said before, guys, my my hands are broken. These are all out of warranty. Um, but yeah, so I wanted to show this up close. We created this part. One of the techs at the VA at the time, while the VA was still willing to work with me. This would typically just go to guide the cable up and down across the socket, and this would sometimes get drilled into the actual socket. But instead of doing that, what we did was we drilled the this part and to make it the end cap here. So whenever it moves, it actually ends on a swivel, and that prevents it from breaking. And so if and this is I'm not able to diagnose your arm in person. I have done. I don't know where you're based out of. If you're based out of the Philippines, I have yet to travel to the Philippines to teach you guys about how to make your prosthetics tougher. What some of the comments about the Havoc arm, like why it's like tough and metal and 550 cord, and I got some comments from people about why it was 550 cord, like, you know, it's just simple or whatever. Like, why wouldn't I make it like a tougher, more expensive proprietary material? That's because people like this, with things like that are using prosthetics like this. First of all, these are very expensive prosthetics that people are going to get like once every 5 years if their insurance will ever cover paying for them. And so I went with 550 cord because a lot of the people that I was dealing with wanted to be able to do what I was doing, which was just fix it and replace it myself without relying on the middleman, which is going to be for the big companies a prosthetic team. And if you go to a prosthetic team, for instance, for me right now, my hand is broken. I don't have any working serviceable hands, right? I fixed them to the extent that I could use them still. I have to go through the VA and then the B Bionic. He used the B Bionic. I used the B Bionic. And wait for them to diagnose it and then send it off to see if it's under warranty or if they're going to send me a new one right now. And so it goes the same for all parts. So the cable that this guy's wanting to make like this is a proprietary medical part. And so you'd have to go into your prosthetic tech to go get this part made. I would recommend doing what I did here, which is finding a way to switch this to 550 cord, because this 550 cord is just paracord. Okay, so the Havoc arm uses coated paracord, and it's actually way tougher than this. And I think that for the other people who might be watching my videos just to study for, because I know now a lot of prosthetic people are engaging with me. 550 cord is much tougher. It doesn't fray when you bend it like steel does, right? It's cheap. It can be coated and melted and cut off, which is really important because this amputee is probably dealing with what I was dealing with before, which was the cable snapping, and you have to have a crimper. Like, these are all super proprietary parts, which just means that he's going to have to go through all these different steps to get it fixed. And so I would say that if you can get tubing, like I did on the Havoc arm, tubing to coat the 550 cord, and use that like you see here to get the elbow to move, right? So forgive me. This is the cable in action. Okay? If you find that this part breaks, I would replace it with nylon that's orderable from Amazon, like I did, just because I had the same issues of every time I needed to get it worked on, you know, I'd have to worry about my prosthetic person having a sewing machine, having time for me, getting appointments and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I went with 550 cord on the Havoc arm because it's tougher, and if it breaks or it frays or the distance needs to change, because to the people who are not amputees, like an inch of travel will significantly affect how his elbow moves up and down. So you really need to be able to adjust that. And once you replace it with something that you can adjust, it makes it much easier to change the elbow and fine tune it to be able to do your specific tasks and disconnect it. So again, I want to show you this cable. I don't know where did I put that cable. Where did I put the cable? Okay. This cable. We have the same system. So this is a B-Bionic. This cable that you're talking about, it's what the most important part is fixing the end cap to one of these. So whenever you connect it, it can free float a little bit. See how my as I move it up and down, it has a little bit of play. That makes it break way less. Then, okay, these are things that I recommend to all amputees who are above the elbow and some below the elbow people to change your harness to a climbing rated carabiner. If you expect to be able to do the kind of things that I do, as far as like lifting weights, punching, be able to take a lot of torque. So as you can see there, mine is connected to a carabiner with the 550 cord strap, but that carabiner allows me to take it off, repair it, change it, much easier than you would be able to do if you still have a prosthetic that goes to a circular steel ring that it has to be ordered through, again, the medical professionals, which I think that one of my goals is to educate people on how hard it is for amputees to get prosthetics and then get them worked on because of all the obstacles in between them and getting them worked on. And the principal reason that there's obstacles is I think it's just insurance companies. They build in things, they make prosthetics cheaper, more fragile, so the repair is built in, and it really, really sucks because this is not like a car. This is something that I rely on every day to be able to take care of my family, take care of my son. It's just to be able to work. It's just something that's where the Havoc arm comes in, because I am very aware of how fragile these prosthetics can be, and so I also at the same time want to share my solutions with what I've been able to do to mod what are currently the toughest prosthetics in the world that are widely available. So I do think that this, he's got to be bionic. It's popular because it's tough. I have a hand that's broken that I actually repaired myself too, with a little steel cable that I just crimped. Yeah, so I'll show you all this. I have another B-Bionic that's it's currently broken, but if you can see here, one of the fingers is 3 of the fingers are broken. I broke them mowing the lawn, and I repaired it myself. And that's one of the reasons I like to be bionic. It's a little bit easier for me to work on. But yeah, so I hope this helps you in the Philippines. I would love to be able to travel there one day to show the Havoc arm, because I want to be able to show what we've done to be able to make all the things that happen to these arms went into making the Havoc arm. Because I broke it so many times. I broke this version of the elbow is actually, you can see it's cracked because it's plastic. I cracked it on Kilimanjaro. Obviously, the hand's broken, the wrist is broken, but amputees still like to use them whenever they're broken, and so just to show it in motion. This is my harness. And in order to set up that cable pulley system, you just want to move one of these to the end here and adjust it so you can do it yourself. Okay? And I hope just showing this harnessing setup helps other amputees create their own system, because I've worked on other people's harnesses for them. But obviously I have limited resources myself. So, the least I can do is show people it in a video so they can get an idea of how to do it for themselves. Thank you so much for the support, and any other amputees that have questions like that, specifically arm guys, leg guys, that's something you guys are way better off than upper extremity people are right now. But yeah, so I hope that helps you.